Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello and welcome to a very exciting episode of Talking Heads on the phenomenal, ever-growing, expanding USA Global TV and Radio, the wonderful Dr. Ghalan. Okay, so my name is Dr. Madalene Chan and I'm in the house today with my episode on Talking Heads. What we're going to talk about today is reconnect, to connect, and cause a big effect. What is that about? Well, let me do it. Let me get you into a song. Reconnect to connect, cause a big effect, and let your life grow. Reconnect to connect, and cause a big effect, and let your life grow. Woo! Okay, we are raising our vibrations, and we are ready. Whew, I don't know why, but I'm just so hot in the studio today. Must be the vibrations. Right, okay, so reconnect to connect and cause a big effect. Right, what this is about is we have been living in a very limited way, in the way as 3D. 3D, if you've been following the Talking Heads series and what's been going on in the world, 3D is what we call the illusion, the limited self, where fear is the fuel of our human bodies and our consciousness. However, what's now starting to come into play is our hearts, is our compassion soul, is thinking about not just ourselves anymore, but how we can help the planet, help others, help ourselves to become a better version of ourselves. That's what's happening right now. So we have the 3D and the 5D. So 5D is emanating the energy on a high vibration on love and all spectrums of love. That is freedom, power, wisdom, power, purification, abundance, manifestation, joy, creativity, unity. So that's what it's about, where we all become connected as one. We are one. That is the world. We are one. So what we have to do now, and I've been talking about this on many, about 8 or 9 series on Talking Heads, about expanding your soul, learning to be in tune with your inner world. So when you want to make a big effect, now you have to make a big effect by checking in. You go to the doctor, he prescribes, you explain the symptoms, he prescribes, he might look, analyze, and then prescribe a medication or a prescription, sorry. Subscription. Well, maybe it is, because if you think about it, when you go and take medication, you're not just on a medication, you're on a subscription of medication. Okay, sorry. That's how I am. Sorry. Sometimes you've got to turn things into light behavior. You know, you've got to loosen up and lighten up, because if you don't, the world isn't going to loosen and lighten you up. So sometimes you have to look and perceive things in a different perspective. Not so serious. I tell you, beautiful viewers, I am not a serious person. I really am not. Honestly, I do a lot of creativity. And you know what? When you're doing creativity, when you go in your inner world and express your creativity, your heart, you are no longer in that serious mode. In fact, when you invent something in your mind and you have the vision, and then you have the emotion that goes along with it, it lifts you up and it makes you feel powerful and it empowers you. And you really feel, yes, what I'm inventing, what I'm writing, what I'm singing, I really feel good about it. And that is when you cause a big effect. That is the energy. That is the primal source of what you are creating, because you are reconnecting to connect within instead of, and then as soon as you play it, let's say, to a friend, to somebody in the business, they suddenly start to go, well, it's this, and it's this, and it's this. And you can find yourself just, oh, all of a sudden, that childlike essence that you had, suddenly you start growing smaller and smaller and smaller. And then you think, oh, well, maybe this isn't as good as what I thought. Wrong. Wrong. That's what the problem has been in this world, because we've created something beautiful from the inner heart sanctuary, where we're being more childlike essence and being happy and joyful, and just nothing can detract us, but it does, because as soon as we show it out in the outer world, that's when your limitation comes in. You did not limitize yourself. Oh, that's an interesting word. Sometimes I think of some of these weird words. Yeah, you did not limitize yourself when you were in the process of creation. You were enjoying. Time did not exist. You were in the optimum of your ever-expanding excellence in your creativity. And you were manifesting this because it was just you, your inner, your heart, and what you are connected with, which is the universe, the universe, the great mind of the universe. You see, when we have an idea, an inspiration, it does not, some of it comes from our ego, our human, our limited self. But honestly, when it's something that's so pure and brought through, that is your child essence. That is coming from your higher consciousness. And the higher consciousness is what is connected to all that is the universe, all that is, all that we are. So when we bring our creation and bring it to the table, and suddenly we get these ticks, and sometimes crosses, more crosses than anything, we take that as rejection. Rejection can do a lot to a person, a lot emotionally. It can block their growth. And that's generally what happens. And they end up doing something different, changing the energies, changing the mind shift. And they end up not being happy in their life. So they settle for second best. And then they end up taking that same energy of not being worthy and thinking, oh, well, you know, I don't have it. I've been told I just don't have it. Who the heck has the right to tell you, I'm sorry, but you don't have it? Yeah, maybe for what they're creating, maybe what they're creating, their show or their platform, maybe your baby, your creation does not resonate to that. But remember, if things are rejected, it's because it's protected. Means your protection. I know it's really difficult at the time. I've had many rejections. I really have. And it got me to the point where I was thinking, you know, I don't want to show my creativity anymore. And I even, when I was writing songs back in the heyday, I mean, I still write songs, but when I was in the pop world, I was writing the songs about freedom and love and happiness and joy. The producer turned around and said to me, there's no way in, I did that because it's a naughty word. There's no way in that that anyone is going to accept this type of lyric or even form of song. And this was back in the 1990s. So I agree. Yeah, I absolutely agreed with him at that time. And I just said to him, it may not be now, but it could be years down the line that this form of lyrical content will be accepted. And he said, no, not in my time. Well, guess what? It's only been 22 years on. That's it, maybe a little bit more. And he's still a producer. He's still alive. He's still he's still thriving. And if I go back to him, he'll go, you know, yeah, you're right. Maybe he would do. Maybe he wouldn't. Depends where he is in his mind shift. It depends if he's coming from an ego status or if he's coming from life's lessons have helped him to open his heart instead of being judgmental. But I don't blame him for that. So what I'm trying to say is that no one has the right to make you feel that to give up on your creation or your baby. Maybe it's not the right time for your creation to be birthed into the world. So sometimes we have to go on a different track. But going on a different track, you will find now that because this new energy has arrived here on Earth, a purification. Remember, I spoke to you last week about for your viewers that listened, that were here, that tuned in, and also on YouTube as well. I was going to say, they, how can I say? I've lost my train of thought. This is strange. Sometimes I receive a download and sometimes I have to say things and sometimes I don't have to say things. Yes, I might come back to that later. Yeah, it's kind of gone at the moment. Maybe I have to talk about something else. Okay, I'm mad and quirky. That's who I am, Dr. Madalene Chan. And I go with what I feel in the essence of that moment and in the now moment. So yeah, I have to talk about going back to the cause of big effect in order to come back to reconnect, to connect and cause a big effect. So that was from a creative manifestation. Yeah. So cause a big effect is also to our thoughts, the way that we think, the way that we act, the way we respond, the way that we are aware, or if not aware. Every time we have a thought process, that thought process is put into action. Not necessarily action in your frame of life, but the thought is energy, right? Everything is energy. So that thought process goes towards the plane of Earth. So it will go towards that timeline of certain, whatever you're thinking, whether it's destructive, it'll go to the destructive. And the destructive patterns will be split into different compartments. And each thought will go will magnetize to that compartment in that destructive, let's say, drawers. And there's different drawers. But then there's constructive. And last week I mentioned about the two clouds that are now resting here. We've always had the cloud of where the energy of destruction, and it's grown bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's the reason why Earth had to wake up and ascend, because it was getting out of hand. We were going to destroy ourselves. Yeah, we were just real bad children in the playground. We just got away with so much. And it's like, because we've had free will. So it's a case of we need to, these two clouds. So there's the new cloud that's arrived. And the new cloud is about our positive aspects of thought, about being genuinely happy for someone, genuinely happy to think of good thoughts for their product or for their baby or their family, instead of having this misunderstanding. And what goes along with that is Dr. Jacqueline's phenomenal and so needed is the elevated listening. We need to greater listening, elevated listening. So if we have to have greater elevated listening, we will hear what exactly that person is saying, and we can respond in the right energy to help that person instead of how can I say, instead of hurting that person in the process. So at the same time, we have to do that with elevated thought, elevated listening, elevated thought, wisdom, intelligence with the application of love and compassion. Now, also, we have to go in and connect to our heart and our soul. So we have to have a greater love, greater purity, greater harmony. You see where I'm coming from here? It's not just about 3D. Oh, yeah, there's harmony in this world. Oh, there's love in this world. Oh, there's listening in this world. Oh, this. Oh, no. We have to raise the vibration. We have to raise the bar, you say? I say raise the stars. Yeah? Raise your star and become greater. So we become greater in excellence. So instead of it, so in 3D, for example, we have, oh, that's excellent. Oh, that's good. Oh, I can see you're listening. Oh, yeah, that's pure. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of positive, but it has this kind of shadow to it. When you begin on your journey of traveling and investigating and going within and exploring within, and having a higher listening within, you will receive a higher vibration of that listening, a higher vibration of that love, a higher vibration of that wisdom and intelligence. So we, as human collective consciousness, are now learning to where we have learned so much as in intellectual beings, having our humanitarian. But you know what? We're moving up. We're moving up because we start with the humanitarian. We start with the love. We start of unity. But while the world is changing into this, we don't stop there. We have to continue studying. That's right, people. We have got to go higher. We got to raise the vibrations, because if some people have chosen to remain in 3D, their limited self, and that's fine, because maybe they didn't agree. Because don't forget, life is about soul contracts. And our soul, the soul, has many eons of life, and the soul is here to teach us through lessons. And we cannot get intervention from on high, because we have free will as human beings. Once we start connecting to our heart, to angels and guides, they need permission. They cannot just come in and intervene. Although there are some cases where, if they're saving lives, you've heard about these people that just move a car and save that person. Well, that's a guardian angel. That's a guardian angel there helping them, moving the forces, making to be able to move. So this is a very interesting topic of conversation. Reconnect, to connect, to cause a big effect. So you need to know, if in this outer world reality, we have what's two timelines going, a 3D timeline, limited self, ego, fear, fueling. At the same time, we have this freedom, we have this love, we have this humanitarian. Then we have another part of this timeline, which is about actually living in 5D, experiencing the greater love, experiencing greater excellence, experiencing greater higher intelligence. You see, we are going to begin to change our vocabulary status, where we become greater beings. We are creator beings, but we are going to be expanding to become greater beings. Now, it's not easy. It's not easy. It really isn't. I've been on this journey for a long time, and I'm sure so many others have. And like I mentioned, some people have not agreed to ascend, not agreed to join the train of 5D. And that's fine. That's okay. Because even if they are here, they will still feel the 5D. Because remember, in darkness is where you find more the light. Oh, isn't that strange? The darkness will give you more of the light. And that, my meaning, my understanding of that would be, when you go into darkness, you need stars to illuminate. You need light to sparkle. So when people are stuck in the darkness, they will begin to see the light. They will begin to feel a presence. So it's not a case of, just because someone has been on this journey of awakening since 2012 and they know it all. No, No. A teacher has to have the understanding of when they teach, the student will become the teacher. And you have to let that freedom go. You have to let it, allow it to go. You cannot become stagnant and let your students become codependent on you, where you're always, oh, Master Sifu, or Sifu is a master, or always looking up to you like this. Because what you have to understand is reconnect to connect. By that student reconnecting to connecting who they are, they may very well have something that's within them that just needs that button to be switched on. And it's even more tools of ancient wisdom or knowledge or future. So we always have to be open to that. We cannot become, oh, I'm this and I'm this because I'm this, arrogant. Because if you're arrogant, don't you dare get on this journey, because you might as well stay in 3D. Honestly, you're not helping anyone by being this. And what will happen if you continue doing that? Then your student will just wake you up anyway. You'll have to learn the lessons. So all I'm trying to say is, when you reconnect to connect, you have to understand that everything grows, everything evolves, and everything changes. And you have to grow with the changes. You have to be in the now moment to be aware when the changes are happening. You have to prepare for the changes to happen, because you will feel it. It's almost like you get a sense, oh, something's wrong, or oh, something's changing. I can feel something changing. Don't know what it is. Hold on to that. And don't let anyone on the outer world say to you, oh, this and this, because they don't understand. They don't know your journey. So we are learning. There's so much, and I've been given this gift to help, but honestly, I'm also open to the younger generation, or maybe the older generation. I don't know. It's a case of when someone is awake and they receive the downloads, and that's what's going to happen in this world. And that's what a lot of these mystics and gurus, they have to realize, that people are going to start to awaken to their true self, their multidimensional self, remembering past lives, the good parts of their past lives, maybe even maybe the forgiveness they have to go through of their past life. But we have to understand that everything is changing every single moment. The only thing that's not changing is more of the same. And what is more of the same? More of the same is the 3D limited self. You can predict it. There's whole books about 3D. There's the whole archive, Universal Archive Library. Earth is the library for experiencing good and evil, love and hate, love and fear, dark and light. But we are growing now, and we are moving together, and we have to realize we are one, we are love. And we have to understand that in order to be on this cause effect, a big effect, the more you make an impact and effect, you have to understand that a lot of things are going to come up to clear, because we're in purification times. All right. My name is Dr. Madalene Chan. I have absolutely enjoyed being with you. And remember, reconnect to connect and cause a big effect, and let your life grow. Reconnect to connect, cause a big effect, and let your spirit know. Woo! Okay, party out. I'm out. My name is Dr. Madalene Chan. You're listening to me on Talking Heads on the phenomenal platform USA Global TV and Radio. I'll see you next week. Bye.